Foreword, a form of validation. What is a foreword? A foreword is a form of endorsement or validation typically found in nonfiction books. It's usually written by someone who knows you, who knows your story, or has some experience on your topic. Somebody who maybe would be considered an expert in the topic. It sends a message to your reader that someone besides yourself trusts you, believes that you're qualified and have the experience to write this book on this particular topic. Having a well-known person write the foreword for your book could be beneficial, but it certainly is not necessary. You can have anyone that you want to write the foreword for you. For my first book, I had my pastor write the foreword. He knew my story, he knew what I went through, and he could speak into it. For my self-editing book, I had an editor write the foreword. So you see, you can have, and neither one of those people are famous or well-known, but they are knowledgeable in the topic that I was writing on. If you choose to have a foreword, give your writer, the person who's going to be doing the foreword for you, ample time to consider what they want to write and get it written. They have a life, they're busy, so they're going to need to work it into their schedule. So I would say give them several weeks advance notice. As soon as you know that you want someone to do a foreword for you, I would reach out to them. As soon as you decide who that person is, I would reach out to them and ask them if they would be willing to write a foreword for your book. Let them know what the topic is. And if they want to see the book before they would do it, then just let them know once you have your rough draft written, you can send it to them. But give them enough notice so that they can think about it and have ample time to write it. You're going to want to have this back before it goes to the formatter. And ideally, it would be nice to have it before it ever goes to the editor so that the editor can look that over as well for any punctuation and so forth. A foreword should not be real lengthy, maybe between 500 and 1200 words. You can let the person know they don't need to make it super lengthy. It can be a page or two long, and maybe give them those guidelines of 500 to 1200 words, because you don't want it to end up, being 10 pages long or something like that. It's just meant to be a quick endorsement. Now, the foreword is an optional page, so you do not need to have it in your book if you don't want to. If you decide to use a foreword, please make sure you spell it correctly. Notice the spelling, Foreword. It's not Foreward, nor is it Forward. So make sure you spell it correctly. It's for and word, Fore and word, Word. It gets misspelled quite a bit. Not necessarily in books, because hopefully an editor catches that, but just in general, it is a word that can be misspelled easily. Your action steps are to decide if you want to have a foreword or not and who you want to have write it. Give that some real consideration, because as far as who you want to have write it, because you want them to be able to speak into what it is you're writing about. Like I said, it acts as an endorsement. What they write can really add value to your book. Again, it's an optional page. You don't need to have it, but just give it some consideration to see if you want to have one or not, and who you might want to have write it. And then remember to ask them well in advance so they have plenty of time to write it and get it back to you.